You know, the word entrepreneur is being used so loosely nowadays that it's almost lost its meaning of what it really means to be an entrepreneur. You see, over my career, I've had the opportunity to model entrepreneurs that their behavior produces the results I want, but I've also seen a lot of entrepreneurs that I watch very closely and their behavior didn't produce the results that I really wanted. Now, they may have been actually a lot more fun than them, but I want results. I don't want to just have fun and be broke. I want to be a real entrepreneur. So today's episode, I want to talk to you about 10 shades of wannabe entrepreneurs, and I highly, listen to me, I highly recommend avoiding any of their behavior because it doesn't produce long-term results. So let's get right into it. Number one, I call them the one-night stand entrepreneur. Let me explain to you what I mean by the one-night stand entrepreneur. You're ever at a bar or at a restaurant or at a party and then or somebody would come and say, oh, I closed them and I did this and I guess what? And I was able to push them to do this, and I upsold them and I made 60% more commission than I would have. And they brag about it, right? And then a month later, the client cancels the policy or the real estate transaction or whatever it is, and they don't keep the sale. Now, why is that? It's because that's a one-night stand entrepreneur. That person is not expecting to keep doing business with this person. I had a conversation with a commercial real estate agent recently, and I told him, I said, I want you to understand something here when you do business with me. I am a very good referral source. You do business with me, I'll make you money for the rest of your career because I'm going to keep doing business, and I know the right people for you. If you don't fight for me, and you try to negotiate an additional $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 and you don't deliver for me, I hope you understand this will be the last time we'll ever do business together. And no, Pat, I can't believe it. And this was the last time he and I will ever do business together, this one commercial real estate agent. Why is that? Because he's a one-night stand entrepreneur. He looks at a customer one time, they do business, and then boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So eventually, when you're doing business, you got to realize your customers have a pulse. Your customers want to be treated right. They don't want to go to sleep with you. You get what you want. You leave. They wake up in the morning. You're no longer there. Nothing. They call. Nothing ever happens. No follow-up ever happens. They're being left behind, right? As a business person, you have customers. You have employees. You have staff. You have sales. You have vendors. You have partners. None of them want to be treated as a one-night stand unless if both is a mutual agreement that I'm okay with this and you're okay with this. Totally fine. But if it isn't, you do it like that. Don't expect more business coming back from them. There are a lot of people that treat their business that way. I highly, highly recommend you not duplicate any of their habits on what they're doing in business. Number two, let me talk about the second one. The second one I call the over-under. What the over-under entrepreneur is, there was a guy I would watch when I was coming up in business. I would watch this. I'm like, man, this guy talks so good from stage. Man, he is like, every time I talk to him, I feel like there's no way in the world I can compete with this guy. But he was amazing at over-promising, and he was fascinating behind closed doors at under-delivering. Over-promise and under-deliver. You couldn't ever get this guy to deliver. He would always talk a big game, never deliver. You know what happened to his credibility? No one around. Everybody eventually finds out about everyone's reputation. You have a reputation, just so you know that. You watching this, you have your own reputation, that your friends and peers that do business with you, they have a reputation about you. Yet people have an opinion about you. You watching this, they have an opinion about how you do business. This person people have opinion about this guy. So eventually, when I was a rookie, he could fool me. But 6 months later, 12 months later, I already knew who he was. He was a over-under. He talked a big game, never delivered. And so that there are people that overpromise. Now watch this. This is kind of contradictory, but stay with me here. There are those that overpromise. But what do you mean they overpromise? Let me explain to you what I mean by overpromise. In sports, there are coaches that say, there are players that say, no one wins at Chicago, Michael Jordan. No one beats us in home in the playoffs. No one does. Mike, no one does. Overpromise, boom, puts so much pressure on himself as a leader, takes the pressure off his teammates, but puts it on himself. But you better believe behind closed doors in a locker room, he puts pressure on everybody. Publicly, he takes it from everybody else so they can perform. And then when it comes game time, he wants to compete and crush the competitor that's going against him because he overpromises and he over-delivers. Now that's a hero. That's a hero. That's somebody that becomes a hero, a legend, somebody that's always going to be talked about. Not the overpromise, underdeliver. Do not duplicate their habits. Eventually, everyone talks about the fact that you don't deliver. You simply talk a big game. Number 3 is the lazypreneur. Let me tell you about the lazypreneur. The lazypreneurs to me are very fascinating because typically someone's had a job. They work 9 to 5, they work 8 to 5, they work 8 to 6, whatever the hours are. Then they become an entrepreneur. And the first day they come to work early, second day, third day, fourth day, and then all of a sudden a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, 3 months later, they're coming at 9:30, then 10 o'clock, then 10:15, then 10:30, then 11 o'clock, then 11:30, then noon. Then they leave early, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and they wonder why their business is not working, and then boom, they're out of business. And they say, this business thing doesn't work, and it's this and it's that. No. It's not that business doesn't work. Listen, business is a mathematical formula. Business works very easy. X plus Y equals 10. You got to find the best combination of X plus Y that equals 10. You could go 9, 1, 8, 2, 5, 5, 6, 4, 0, 10. It doesn't matter. 7, 3. There are many ways to get the answer 10. Capitalism works. There is a formula for it. But it doesn't favor lazypreneurs. So if you really are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, and you don't want to be the term that everyone's using loosely, that no one considers this person an entrepreneur, you really want to be known as an entrepreneur, you got to realize that you're going to be working long hours for many, many years. This morning I did a Snapchat. I came out here. I've been in business for how many years now? Let's just say 2001, 2002, right? And today's 2016, so 14 years, 15 years. I worked out this morning, 4:30. I go to the gym. Last night we slept early. My family's in town, my sister, so I was with them till late. And I put my son down because he didn't want to go. He wanted to spend some time with daddy at 11:30. Then I go to bed. I change 12 o'clock. I sleep. I wake up 4 o'clock, 4:30. I go to the gym. I work out. I come to the office. I open the office here at 6:30, and I get to work. Now I'm doing this in my 14th, 15th year. I can simply say I've made it already. I don't have to do this crap, but I'm an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur is not just about the money you make and the cars you drive. And you got the success and accolades and nobody else. No, if you're a real entrepreneur, you create value so other people are doing the same as well, and you pass it down and they're growing as well. Lazypreneurs, listen, if you're not a hardworking person, stick to having a job. If you are extremely hardworking and you want to be in a startup type of an environment, then you can consider becoming an entrepreneur. But my challenge to you is do not replicate and duplicate lazypreneurs. They have a very, very difficult time in business. Number 4 is the get rich quick. You see, I had a friend of mine many, many years ago. He would always call me, Pat, I found something. We're going to become millionaires in 3 months. I'm telling you, we're going to become millionaires in 3 months. We're going to make $600,000 in a third month. And I'm sitting there talking to this guy. After the second time, third time, he would keep telling me this. I'm like, you know what? This is just starting to get very, very annoying. He would keep talking. I said, you realize no one believes you. What become a millionaire in 6 months? If anybody tells you you can become a millionaire in 6 months, they're full of it. They're full of it. It's like saying, hey, guess what, honey? What's that? Man, I found a way that we can have sex and have a baby in a week. It's awesome. We got to go out and have sex and have a baby in a week. No, it doesn't work that way. It takes 9 months. It takes 40 weeks, sometimes a little sooner, sometimes a little later. But it's 40 weeks is what got to do. Listen, world of business, it takes a little bit of work. And some of these guys that are get-rich-quick scheme type of salespeople, they give the word entrepreneur a bad rap. This thing takes work. There's a reason why most people don't want to be entrepreneurs. There's a reason why most people don't make it. There is work that takes place. There's patience that takes place. There's a requirement for you to constantly improve yourself. There's a requirement for you to stay somewhat paranoid. There's a requirement for you to constantly wanting to get better, adapt, be willing to adapt with the marketplace. Everybody wants to put you out of business. Your competitors don't want you to make it. You think your competitors want you to make it? They don't want you to make it. They do not want you to make it. So when you see everyone here that I'm talking about, you're probably thinking about somebody. The person who's the get rich quick here, don't replicate them. Do not replicate. They're probably the shallowest people in the world of business because they give entrepreneurs a bad rep. They're not entrepreneurs. They're get-rich-quick-preneurs that they like to call themselves entrepreneurs, but I highly recommend avoiding them as much as possible. 5 is the babypreneur. Let me tell you about the babypreneur. You know what's a babypreneur? I'll get people that'll say things like this to me. They'll say, oh my gosh, Pat, it was, I drove 2 hours and I had the presentation fully put together for 3 weeks. And this is the best product for them. And I drove 2 hours. And they said no. And I was crushed. And on the drive home, I went to the bar and I had a drink and it was so difficult. And they're just, and I said, wait a minute. Like, can I ask you a question? Yes. What did you think it was going to be being an entrepreneur? Tell me. What did you think it was going to be being an entrepreneur? I'm really curious. Like, what did you think this was? Did you think this is being an entrepreneur like this? I have this product to sell and it costs $50,000. No problem. Can I have 2 of them? Did you think that's entrepreneur? I would like you to partner up with me and we go change the world together. Oh, let's do it. I don't need to know anything. Like, did you think, oh, you're a competitor. You shouldn't put me out of business because I'm trying to win for my friends and family. Oh, I'm so sorry. We are so apologetic about putting you out of business. Let us retreat the lawsuit. That's not the world of business. The world of business is you got to roll these. You're going to sleeve, roll them up, put them up, and get ready. And sometimes you may get hit in the back when you're not even catching it. You can't be a babypreneur. You're going to drive yourself insane. Get your skin thicker. Be prepared. It's going to hurt sometimes. Sometimes you're going to get jumped. And sometimes someone's going to catch you. But then eventually you kind of are watching, you're looking, you're getting, you're seeing. Then you have a team. Then you have backup. Then when you have backup and it's getting thicker, then people no longer want to fight you. And they just say, you know what? Let's just not pick a fight with that guy right now. They're a little bit crazy. Let's set him aside. But that part takes a little bit to build your own gang. It takes a little bit to build your own gang, your own squad. So don't be a babypreneur. You're going to get hurt. It's going to stink. You're going to want to cry every other second for the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, sometimes 7 years. But here's what I could tell you. Eventually, you're going to get tougher. And eventually, if you really are working hard, you're eventually going to win. Some it takes 2 years. Some it takes 5 years. Some it takes 10 years, some it takes 20 years, but you're eventually going to win if you stick to it. Number 6, the know-it-all. The know-it-all is a guy that I'll talk to people and say, oh yeah, so I've read Think and Grow Rich and I've read How to Win Friends and Influence People and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Oh yeah, I've read all these books. They've read 14 books. You recommend them a new book? There's no way in the world they're going to read the new book. Oh, it's like every single one of them. You recommend another book? Oh, it's probably like every single one of them. I've read it already. I kind of know what they're going to talk about. I kind of know what they're going to talk about. I kind of know what they're going to. I went to school. I have a degree. I already took a business degree. I know what they're. You see, I read all this stuff already in school because in school they talk about business. I mean, you stand this much of a chance of competing long-term with other people unless if you snap out of it and realize you don't know it all. Listen, every day, I was having this conversation last night with my sister and I said, look, every day I want to get better because I know today, there is somebody out there that's watching every single video that we're doing and finding out every single thing that we're doing with PHP that wants to put us out of business every single day. And I, as the CEO, I must get better. I must improve. I must be reading these books and feed my mind regularly to figure out a way for this guy to get better. Why? Because I don't know it all. I don't know it all. Literally, you guys watch my YouTube videos on valuetainment, and I believe we have the #1 channel on entrepreneurship. But I can tell you one thing here, just so you know. Me as the host, I don't know it all. I could be 93 years old. I still don't know it all. I can talk about my mistakes. Everything I'm talking to you about is mistakes I've made in business. Everything I'm talking about my mistakes in business. I'm not talking because I'm superior to you, but I don't know it all. And sometimes I talk to some people, I'm like, wait a minute. You're like, why do you walk like you know every single thing and you should be ahead. Bring yourself down a little bit. You don't know it all. And so when you see the ones that don't know it all, that act like they know it all, unfortunately, they're typically going to hit a wall because very few people like to be in business with people who know it all. Very few people do, eventually. And very few people ever constantly keep growing. They always hit a plateau. And generally, if you hit a plateau, eventually that plateau gets lower and lower and lower. Your business keeps getting smaller until you realize you don't know it all. So don't replicate know-it-alls. Act like you don't know it all and keep learning and improving. You're going to see a lot more growth for yourself. Number 7 is the partypreneur. Let me tell you about the partypreneur. Here's a partypreneur. Look, they're a lot of fun. They're by far the funnest group that are extremely, what's the word I can use, Mario? I don't know if it's confusing. It's what? It's conflict. It's charismatic. Not charismatic. It's a, the partypreneurs can seduce you. Okay, The partypreneurs can be like, man, so why do we make money, man? It's to have fun, bro. So we gotta go have fun. We gotta do this. So, man, this is all these other guys. That guy's still working. He's such an idiot. He's gonna miss out on life. He's gonna miss out on life. Okay. So what the hell am I gonna do at the nightclub? Believe me, I can tell you right now, most of you have probably not been to the nightclub as much as I have. I can guarantee you this. I would say 98% of you watching this probably haven't been to the nightclub as much as I have. The 2% that have, more power to you. But I got 98% of you beat. But I wasn't an entrepreneur. It was Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night for years until I realized, 23 years old. And I was still wanting to party, 22, 23. I'm still wanting to party. I'm going to Vegas every other weekend, fly, boom, Burbank. Vegas, come back Sunday night. Party, 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 party. Partypreneurs go broke, and partypreneurs are wannabes. They're not real business people. You're making money just to party. You're not really making money to build a business. What is a purpose of building a business? Just to make money and party? There's a lot of other ways to have fun in business. So by the way, if you party late, you don't have energy in the morning. If you drink way too much, your brain is fried and it's tired in the morning. It's not that sharp. Go have 6 drinks and wake up in the morning and try to come up with an idea. Look what'll happen. Now you may say, well, when I drink, I come up with good ideas. No, when you drink, you may be looser, but you don't come up with sharper ideas. I want to be sharp. I don't want to be distracted with the partypreneurs. I don't. And they are listen to me, they're the most incredible recruiters. They are the most incredible recruiters. Most incredible recruiters. But very, very rarely do they ever make it to the highest level in any business. Very rarely. Because they eventually pick up way too many habits. Because when you're a partypreneur, let me give you the negative effects of being a partypreneur. Unfortunately, those who party the most, when you go here, who's your audience? Focused people or unfocused people? Unfocused people. Do you think they improve your game? Do you think they enhance your game? Do you think that community is going to make you sharper? No. They make you looser. They make you softer. They make you more casual. When you're in an environment where everybody's competing and everybody's in it improving, whether you like it or not, you're going to improve. This is nightclub life. This is partypreneur life. These are guys that want to be the greatest, that they want to compete, that they want to leave a legacy, that they want to die one day. And the impact they made affects millions on top of millions of people around the world. And history favors them. You know who favors them? They're favored for like 5, 10, 15 years. Then eventually, you know what people say? Oh my God, he's still partying at 30 years old. He's still partying at 30 years old. He's still partying. What is this guy doing? He's a grown man. What partying at 30 years old, man? You're no longer 22. I mean, I get it at 22, 23, but 30, 40? There's people partying right now at 40 years old still. Missing the whole aspect of life. Simply because they can't drop the whole partying thing. If you've done a little bit, totally fine. I've kind of done a little bit too much, but I retired. It's time to put retire your jersey and move on if you are in that space. Number 8, the one-hit wonder. Let me tell you about the one-hit wonder. The one-hit wonder is a guy that's living in the past. In America, you guys, a lot of people watch us from 196 different countries. In America, we call it the Al Bundy syndrome. You know, when I was in high school, at the championship game, I threw how many touchdowns? 4 touchdowns. That's what Al Bundy says, right? There are people that brag about, I used to make money in real estate. In 1999, I was a big real estate investor. In 03, I made a lot of money in real estate. Oh, back in 1992, no one cares. No one cares you had one hit. Oh, in 93, I made $300,000. Oh, in 01, here's what I did, and no one cares. What are you doing today? In the world of business, what matters is today. Now, if you've had 2, 3 major victories and you're not a one-hit wonder, totally fine. But if you're a one-hit wonder, I call you Vanilla Ice. I call you Macarena. I call you, my gosh, there are so many of them that we can go through. You do not want to be a one-hit wonder in the world of entrepreneurs because credibility means he got lucky. But you do it over and over and over again, then people say he's an expert at what he does. Number 9. Number 9 is I love the last one. I kind of want to get to the last one, but I'm going to go to the number 9 first. Here's number 9. I call him the stingypreneur. You know what's the stingypreneur? The stingypreneur doesn't want to invest into anything. No, I don't need an assistant yet. No, I don't need to get this office yet. No, we don't need, no. Stingy, way too much. No, we can't do that yet. No, I can't get this card. No, way too stingy. What ends up happening when you're too stingy? Growth slows down. And when you have your business goals like this, let me tell you, the stingy and being frugal is a complete different thing. Let me explain. Frugal is, let's negotiate. This costs $3,000. Can we do it for $2,200? $2,400. That's no problem. Let's work 25. I save $600. That's frugal. You know, but if this helps me grow the company to do an XYZ pound of number, I don't need to be stingy. We need to get this. Okay. You know, oh no, we're not going to hire this assistant here because I can't afford to pay him $1,500 a month. And no, I'm going to pay him only $800 a month, and you lose it. No, I'm not. No. You need an assistant. You're way too busy. And so because you didn't get the assistant, you kept doing $10 an hour work, and your business doesn't grow. And you're wondering how come you've never had an explosion in your business. Because you keep doing $10 an hour job, paperwork stuff, is what you keep doing. No. Stingypreneurs are truly not entrepreneurs. They're independent contractors, but they're not entrepreneurs. They're not entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs invest into their business. Entrepreneurs get support team around them. Entrepreneurs keep expanding their staff and the supporting cast. And then eventually they're doing the main things that matter to grow their business. And number 10, let me tell you about number 10. Number 10 to me, I call them, Mario, this is the best one, Mario.
I'm ready.
I call number 10 the I get around entrepreneur. You know who's the I get around entrepreneur? The guy that wants to join everything and sell everything. Man, I've met so many I get around entrepreneurs that, wasn't there a song called I Get Around? I Get Around. Who was it? Was it Tupac or was it LL Cool J? I think it's I Get Around as I get around. Round and round, round we go. Yeah. Who is it? I think it's nice. Tupac, right? I get around. Well, this one is Beach Boys. No, it's Tupac. Okay. Now, Tupac is a good song. I get it. But in the world of business, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm doing. What are you going to do? I'm doing real estate. Okay, great. Well, I heard solar panels are blowing up. So you go to solar panel. Well, you know what I heard? What'd you hear? I heard the Snapchat thing, so we're starting to go on Snapchat. What are you calling it? Flapchat. I don't know what you're going to call it. Hey, you know what I heard? What'd you hear? I heard right now it's a very good business to get in. Don't tell them about some of these herbs on the side. Like, we're moving to Colorado because we're going to do this 420 type of stuff. And there's a lot of money in Colorado right now because you can sell these brownies. And these brownies have this stuff like people smile. You make a lot of money. We got to get into it. We got to move to Colorado. We got to move to Colorado and get into the brownie business. Oh my gosh. You know what we got to do? What do you got to do? All this stuff from one thing to another thing to another. Get around so much. And you know what the reputation of somebody is that gets around? Not very high. People don't think too highly of people that get around. In the world of business, unfortunately, the real business people, the real entrepreneurs, they don't think too highly of people that get around either. So I can go on and add you other things here on this video, but I want you to be thinking about all these things that we talked about, 10 of them. Maybe go back and recap or read the article about it. And from now on, you yourself, when you're doing business with people, ask yourself, is this person a real entrepreneur? Am I a real entrepreneur? Are you a real entrepreneur? You question yourself a little bit. Ask yourself, because I want to ask myself. Mario could tell you half the time. I'll say, hey, Pat, Mario, what do you think about this? Mm-hmm. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think? Why? Because I want to improve constantly. Hey, we're not this anymore. We're getting better with this, right? We're constantly wanting to improve. Ask yourself, are you any one of these 10? Are you one of the 10 that we talk? Are you a one-night stand entrepreneur? Are you the over-under? Are you the lazypreneur, the get-rich-quick, or the babypreneur, the know-it-all, or the one-hit wonder, or the stingypreneur, or the I get around? Are you? If you are, and you plan on building a big empire, I highly suggest you adjust. If you're not, keep an eye out for those who are, and don't fall for them. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them distract you. Know who's the legit real entrepreneur and who's not. And by the way, if somebody shared this video with you and you didn't watch this video because you're a Valuetainment subscriber, maybe you just watch it right now because somebody shared it with you, maybe they're trying to tell you something. I don't know, just maybe. Maybe they're trying to tell you something and they care about you so much that they wanted to make sure you could make a couple minor adjustments yourself as an entrepreneur. And so with that being said, my favorite pillow is back. Many of you kept saying, Pat, where is that pillow? Well, Mario and the guys were on a 35-day RV tour where they lived in an RV. Mario, can we show the RV you guys lived in for 35 days? Show the RV. And they did some crazy stuff, but they're back, and the pillow's back in the videos. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Click on the bottom to subscribe to the channel. We believe this is the #1 channel for entrepreneurs. See if we get this time. We get, oh, Mario caught it. You should. Good catch, Mario.
Thank you.
Kind of like Ken Griffey, who just recently retired, and Willie Mays, except Mario's Guatemalan. And I don't know how much baseball you guys play in Guatemala. I've been there before. Is there baseball in Guatemala, or is it more soccer?
Soccer, yeah.
It's more soccer. I've been to Tikal, and I know we have a big Guatemalan following. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe in the bottom. If you know other entrepreneurs that could benefit from this video, share it with them. And if you got any questions or comments, comment on the bottom as well. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.